that I was definitely with my first one over involved. And now with the second one having gone to college, the first one is training me to be a better mom. So she's telling me, let go. It's very frustrating, mom, when mama, when you keep on asking questions, or you think you're being involved, but it's very frustrating for us. So let it go. He'll figure it out. He'll figure it out. And I'm kind of looking at her going, okay, yeah, it's hard, but I have to do it.
Whenever we go on a flight, and I know the very common oxygen mask example, right? So, you want to raise a happy child, you need to give yourself oxygen first. So as parents, we need to be happy first. We are human beings first, right? We are individuals first. And we owe it to ourselves to get that happiness from within. And then eventually, when your vibration is raised, automatically
it will reflect. I love how Carol Dweck actually characterizes the fixed mindset versus the growth mindset. She talks about the growth mindset as the philosophy or the power of the words not yet.
Yes.
And so what happens is you don't beat yourself up. You don't completely get dejected because you can't do it, because the words not yet say, I didn't get the sum right yet.
Yes.
Meaning I can do something to make myself better.
So there are 3 factors that will ensure that our children will start reading a little bit more. The first one is give it a space. The second one is give it time. And the third one is give it energy. I'm going to talk about the first one because that's something I did very regularly with my children, which is give it some space. What does that mean? I remember when my kids were growing up, and when they had something was happening and they didn't want to share it, I decided to create what I called the cozy corner. So the cozy corner was a space that we created, which was maybe between 2 closets or behind a closet, or some place where we put a bunch of pillows and made it very comfortable and cozy, where there would be absolutely no judgment, and kids could come in and talk to me about anything they want, and there was going to be no consequence or judgment, and they could say whatever they wanted. Eventually, the cozy corner, as they started growing up, became their reading corner. And I realized that it is so important to first mark out a space, which is a comfortable space for our children to say, okay, this is where I sit and read. So the first one, give it a space, is what the cozy corner was all about.
Oh, that is such an amazing question to start with. Especially as a super imperfect parent myself, I have to tell you that I have grappled with this from the time that my children went from being, the kind of kids that wanted to share everything, the color of the teacher's dress, to, what they learned, who they played with, what they ate for lunch. And then almost overnight, it seemed as if they just wanted to escape my questions and run into their room and just not talk to me. So every time I'd say, how was school today? Good, with a little roll of the eyes like, oh God, are you going to ask me this question again? Are you going to expect me to stand here and answer this question? And it was just so sad for me, because I was just feeling, oh God, am I losing that connection with my children? Why don't they want to talk to me? And then as I spoke to other parents, I started realizing, you and I talked about it, we started realizing everyone's doing this. All of the teenagers are doing this. And then as we researched a little further, we realized that teenagers do this because they feel judged. They feel attacked. They feel, how was school today? Meaning, what did you do in your math test? How did you do in your assignment? Did the teacher call on you? They're hearing all of these things that we're not saying. And you know what? Most of the time, we're not even intending. But it's coming across like that.
This reminds me of when my daughter was going to school, and she would invariably be late to catch her bus. Now, the parents will say, how can we not give them instructions? They have to catch the bus, right? They have to get good marks. They have to do this. They have to do that, correct? So it's very difficult for us when we give feedback to our kids. Let's break this up into 2 parts. The first part, where I will talk about the incident with the school bus. How do you catch a bus on time? So invariably, she would wake up late. She would not get ready on time. I would go completely crazy. I would start yelling at her, and I used to keep shouting at her and getting her to the bus stop on time. And there was always this one kid who never made it on time. He always ran and caught the bus. And I remember the other parents snickering and said, what kind of mom this person has? Doesn't even get his son to the bus stop on time. And that's when it hit me that I don't think that we are that concerned about the child catching the bus. We are more concerned about how others judge us or perceive us as parents. Because somebody will say, Arey, you can't even bring your kid to the bus stop on time. What kind of a parent are you? And
Yeah.
that's when I decided that I'm going to handle this a bit differently. So I sat my daughter down and I said, let's figure this out. I completely hear you. It's cold. You want to be in the bed for another 10 minutes, but we still have to catch the bus, right? So what do we do? So I allowed her to give me 2-3 possible solutions. And I
Yes.
also played out the consequences of her not catching a bus, that if she doesn't catch the bus, then she misses it and she doesn't go to school. So that kind of, you give me the solutions and here are the consequences. Both of those things work together.